Goodbye Paleo Kastritsa, and soon goodbye Corfu. Uta and I are just on our way to the airport. We got up at 6 a.m, which was pretty nasty since both of us were awake long, I think almost until, well, later than midnight, right? Yes. Ute was nervous because of the flight. I couldn't sleep either, so yeah, a little bit of sleep only. But never mind. I think despite all the lemons that have been handed to us during the past week, we made the best lemonade out of it. So we definitely had a great time most of the days. And yeah, this morning, just when we left the apartment, we were greeted by the Greek god Zeus with the mighty thunder rolling, but only one. We just saw one lightning and heard one thunder, and then it was gone. Now it's raining. There are some things I will miss, like the donkeys that just greeted us goodbye. They awaited us at the car and nuzzled us. Do you say so? I think it's called nuzzling. And then they stood behind our car, and we had to wait until they left. And I will miss, I think most of all, but that's not really Corfu specific, but in general vacation specific, I will miss living without time. Not having to look at my watch all the time, like, okay, now it's so and so late, now I have to do this and that, feed these and this cats and dogs and bunnies, or get to work or go to bed or whatever. In vacation, I mean, we were far from lazy. We were not lazy at all. We were super active, but always without time. We just, I mean, the only thing we kind of kept track of concerning time is getting dark, because we didn't want to be still hiking when it got dark in the Greek mountains. But apart from that, we just did what we want whenever we wanted, and that was lovely and very relaxing. Yeah, what I won't miss, oh, another thing I will miss is the view out of our bedroom. Like opening the curtains in the morning and being about 15 meters from the ocean side, that is a view to remember. So I can definitely recommend Mollos Beach Apartments. And also super lovely, the guy who rented it to us, I still don't know what his name is, because people call him Tassos. He also says his name is Anastasio, and I think on our receipt it said Jorge, so George. So I'm quite confused what his name actually is. But he was super nice, and last night, he told me that the priest of the area has the most active Facebook page in the entire area, because he is kind of the local newspaper. When somebody dies or gets born or gets married, he tells people on his Facebook page, and everybody sees it. So I took over my rewatch thing for my Olympus camera, the one I lost, and asked him to please share it on his Facebook page. And even though the priest was lying in bed with a fever, about an hour later he had already posted it. So that was super nice, and several people have shared it. I know that the chances for me to get the camera back ever are very, very low, but at least now I can say, okay, I tried everything, and that feels good. So now I'm not that mad at me anymore, at myself anymore. Yeah. Oh, and last but not least, the things I won't miss. The bed, so hard. I woke up with shoulder pain every day, which only went away during the hike on the day. So I hope today it will at some point vanish as well. Probably sitting in an airport is not, or in an airplane is not the best way to get rid of shoulder pain. What else won't we miss, Ute? Oh, the roads.
No.
Well, it depends.
I would miss the roads. It was an adventure.
Yes, it was definitely an adventure, that's for sure. And we survived it, and even the car survived it, though only thanks to Ute. Also the mountains of garbage that, yeah, we kind of got used to them, but they are still a little, what's it called, appealing, I think. Yeah, they were pretty disgusting and kind of ruined the beautiful landscape, because they often stretch for 10 to 15 meters along the road in picturesque villages. Yeah. And I guess what hurt me most is seeing the suffering of the animals here, especially the cats, because they keep reproducing uncontrolled, whatever. And they are in really bad shape. I don't think people care about the cats. There are a few tiny exceptions. We saw maybe a handful of cats that were well groomed and looked healthy. But even then, when I took a closer look, their ears were full of mites or ticks, or their fur was no, not filthy, like I can't explain it in English, but most of the cats really had serious health problems. We saw some that had their eyes completely swollen over, either by a cornea defect or by a conjunctivitis, if that's the English word. We saw some with really, really bad cold and like snoggy nose, and the worst maybe was yesterday, the cat with the open paw. Yeah, Ute is nodding. The cat really had a bloody flesh under her paw, and I felt so terribly sorry. I think if I lived on Corfu, I would probably open a nurturing campaign to nurture all the cats. Ute said on one of our first days, why don't they just nurture all the cats like they do in Germany? We have a nurturing law. And I said, the thing is, they can't just do that, because they kind of have different problems, and the cat is part of this problem. Because if they nurture all the cats and don't change anything else, the rats will reproduce like hell, because they find so much to eat in all the open lying around garbage around here. So they would have to change something about the garbage first to get rid of the rats, and then they could nurture the cats. And actually, I think that's too much organizing for the people around here. They probably neither have the money nor the motivation to do so. Yeah. So most of all, I'm looking forward to seeing my own pets again, of course. And yeah, this is Judith and Ute out. Bye.